It's a hot show, and I don't know how it's gonna go. It's a hot show, and I can't guess what's gonna happen next. So come on and join in. Let's do the hot show. Howdy, and welcome to the Hot Show. I'm Hot the Cat, here tonight with Skunky Beaumont. Welcome, Skunky.
Thank you, Hot.
Now, we were having some connection issues before we began. Are those still happening?
No, you're loud and clear on my end.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. Because it really seemed like there was a good chance that I would just be glitching out and impossible to decipher. And you would be totally clear. Yeah. So I understand that you are joining us tonight from a skeezy motel. I'm very interested in a tour of your motel.
I would love to show you my lousy motel room.
Yeah, I'm gonna shift it so you can be bigger here.
All
right. Let's check this out.
So, well, here, let's see. Let me try that again here. Good flickering light in the bathroom.
Nice.
The sink, I had to go under and actually turn on the cold water. It was only hot.
Amazing.
The vent doesn't work.
Cool.
I've got a shower curtain, but no plastic shower curtain liner, so it's now just wet shower curtain fabric.
Great.
The highlight of the bathroom, I don't know if you can see the ceiling here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the vent doesn't work, it is super fuzzy all over the bathroom ceiling. Terrible, gross.
Great.
A really nice storage unit for.
Yeah, I like that.
Then we've got a nice bottle opener.
Good. Yeah, you always. I mean, what's a bathroom without a bottle opener?
Exactly. I've got the clothes hanger unit with no clothes hangers. the suitcase caddy, which is all right.
Okay, yeah. I've been in places without one of those, so.
Yeah, I've got my area. This is all of my possessions to keep me going for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Mostly socks and underpants, but there is laundry here. I do have a roll of quarters. And I was smart, and I brought my electric kettle so I can have ramen noodles, coffee, and oatmeal.
Great. Great. Thinking ahead.
TV that actually works in my room. Apparently, the TV does not work in a lot of other people's rooms.
Oh, you're lucky.
Microwave that I have not tested, but looks like it works.
Have you looked inside it?
It's the cleanest thing in the whole place. The mini fridge works, which apparently does not in a lot of other people's rooms.
Oh, look at you.
There's
Functioning room.
my roommate's side, sharing a room with a total stranger. I came in the room last night after midnight and met my roommate and then tried to fall asleep.
Great.
Single chair for two fella place. And then I saved the best part for last.
Oh man, let me tell you.
This is the plug for the air conditioner. See the shape?
Yeah.
Here's the receptacle that I have for the air conditioner. You see the shape?
Yeah.
And also, do you see that horrible burn mark where something clearly arced out and had a problem? So I get this great air conditioner that does not plug in or work. And then the piece de resistance, the windows don't open. And even better, outside the window, I've got a really nice tree that makes the spookiest scratching against the glass as the breeze blows.
Great.
And that's my home for the next couple of weeks.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I brought my white noise machine.
Oh, nice. Very good.
And that's the whole place.
I like it. I do. You really, you were right to leave the air conditioner plug for last because that really is pretty amazing.
Now, I won't lie, Hot, you've gone back to glitching out.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Maybe if I talk some more, it'll work again. Maybe not. I can't. It's so hard to tell whose side this is on. To me, I sound fine, but apparently to Skunky, I do not. Skunky sounds fine to me, so there is a good chance that I am the problem here. I especially hope that I am a robot in this circumstance.
I got nothing yet.
Great. Well, it's hard to communicate. I guess if you can't understand me and I can understand you, yeah, I don't really know how to go about this situation exactly.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks so much for being here, Skunky.
Yeah, realistically, I'm probably gonna go to bed. I only got maybe 2 hours of sleep last night. So.
Oh wow. Yeah. Definitely. Let's get off to sleep. All right. Well, thanks so much for being here and showing us your skeezy motel. I'm so glad that at no point did you mention.
Thank you for having me. I hope I don't.
Now on my end, Skunky has frozen. All audio has stopped. There does not seem to be a reason. Oh, there he's back.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for being here. If you didn't hear that already, I also was about to say I'm so glad that at no point did you mention why you were in a skeezy motel or why you were sharing it with a total stranger.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. Just leave it at that. Uh,
Well, now that I can hear you, I don't mind sticking around actually
oh, okay, okay,
for a little bit, maybe a few minutes.
cool, cool.
Um,
Well, I can make us more evenly sized again.
I like that much better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that the tour is over, yeah. Well, I'm glad you can hear me. Yeah. Well, it's such a pleasure that you're here, um, because I'm not really sure if anyone else is going to be showing up for a while, and I don't know if I'm like I don't really have many plans. It has been a rather busy time in my life. Uh, you know, cats sometimes just got a lot of business going on, a lot of napping that has to happen, a lot of curling up in sunbeams, playing with little bits of string, uh, playing some guitar, but like, uh, it's not easy to do a lot of planning when you're so busy with those things. Now, Skunky, so often on this show we do like to address what kind of animals we are. Uh, Today, I would say I am a cat, um, as my name implies. Uh, what animal are you today, Skunky Beaumont?
To be honest, maybe I'm feeling a little like a slug.
Yeah, I suppose times when I've only slept 2 hours in a night, uh, I have also, I think, felt like a slug at times.
Yeah. Well, and I spent 10 hours just sitting in a classroom today. So
Yeah, yeah, slug. Now, would you say you're a particularly slimy slug, leaving a trail behind?
yeah, I'd say so. Drippy.
Drippy. Mm.
No air conditioner here. I'm honestly pretty hot.
Yeah.
And I wish I could open the window. I hope you can hear some of that like screeching. It's
No, that is unfortunately not coming through. Uh, I'm a little disappointed.
yeah, well, it'll start again once we get the breeze blowing in the right direction. Wrong direction.
Right.
Oh, it's awful. That's a really actually pretty good rendition.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's I would say so far, all the other like little quirks and whatnot are pretty ignorable. That one is pervasive, and it is not going down so well with my feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting a little bit of that crazy eye. um,
I'm not having fun at summer camp, and I want to go home.
I, it's too bad you can't open the window because otherwise maybe you could do something about it.
Absolutely, I could do something about that. I have even thought about like maybe getting like a rope and lassoing it from the ground, but
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is on the second floor, so that might be
Oh
tricky.
yeah, that would be probably a little tricky.
If it continues tomorrow, I might consider climbing the tree.
Great. I like that your use of the camera there to get us into your head.
Thank you.
How you're feeling.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's very nice.
This place blows.
um, Hmm. Well, you know, I really don't know what to do with this time. Sometimes I like to play songs and stuff, but not too long ago, I listened back to a previous episode, or at least for part of it, and the uh, sound quality on my playing of a song was very poor. Uh, so I don't know if it really makes sense to do that. Uh, and sometimes I like to do some art, but I don't suppose you have any way of doing any art.
I mean, maybe I could carve something into the mold.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, that I mean, yeah, using the fuzz in the corners of the bathroom to form some sort of figure. Uh, yeah, not real promising. So I heard this phrase this week that I've been thinking about a lot, and it kind of ties into things I've talked about on this show before. Um, uh, but the phrase is that it's easier to imagine the end of the world than it is to imagine the end of capitalism. Um, and I feel like it's a phrase that's worth getting out there because I think it's true um, that it's so hard to imagine our futures uh, without like as not going in the direction that it seems like we're going in. And I think it's in part because we don't have very many like or hardly any like ways to imagine that future uh, where we would go in a different direction. And so we're like just kind of tied up with thinking about we're going to take this all the way to the end of the world, kind of. We're riding that train. Yeah, that was that. Now, from your fairly blank expression, I'm going to guess that maybe I've turned into a robot for you again. Uh,
That's absolutely correct. I'm
Great.
trying to see if there's a good spot to actually receive Wi-Fi in case it's on my end, but
Yeah, I really wish that there was some way to tell whether it was on your end or mine, um, because uh, um, because on my end you're looking great. Like you're coming through just fine. So I am thinking that maybe it is me.
well, it's very big of you to admit.
It's not you, it's me. So I really wonder what that sounds like. Um, because I'm sure that did not sound like it sounded on my end.
To me, it did not even sound like a guitar.
Well, that's fun. Yeah, I really wish that we had like some sort of way to tell what it looked like out in the outside of this StreamYard room. But alas, somebody in the future will have to let us know how it is. Well, remember to hydrate wherever you are. Just find a tap water bottle, a clear mountain spring. Let's take a drink. You got some water there, Chris?
I do.
Skunky.
To be honest, the best place about this location is the tap water is delicious.
Oh, nice.
So silver lining.
Good.
My water bottle just fits.
Oh, that's always nice because sometimes it a great little demonstration there. Oh, here's something that we could do. If as long as this the connection works, I don't think we've ever checked in with you with the self-portrait song.
With the what?
The self-portrait song. Here, let me play it. What is your favorite band, movie, or kitchen appliance? Tell us your story through an old pair of pants. I want to know you through your history of cars, or show us your trash, show who you are. You don't have to paint it, you could use your bookshelf. I just want you to give us a self-portrait. So what usually happens here is that we go through line by line of this song. So the first little bit is, what is your favorite band, movie, or kitchen appliance? You can only answer one. Anything coming through?
Well, I'm trying to think of something that might be ambiguous enough that it could be any.
I would be very impressed. I mean, you could definitely hit two of them, but three would be impressive.
I don't know. Like if I said juicer, is that maybe a movie? I don't know. Is that maybe a band? Could be.
I imagine there's been a juicer band. Movie? I don't know. Maybe juicer. Steroid story.
But real talk.
Yeah, let's get into the real talk here.
Joe versus the volcano. My favorite movie.
I know you're a very big fan of that movie. You've told me for years. that it's your favorite movie, or that it's great and I should watch it, um, and I still never have.
That's okay.
I have since also heard very good things in other places about that movie too.
It's it's a romantic comedy. It's Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan's first screen appearance together.
Which
It's kind of special.
I mean, they have so many that you, they must have hit it, and they have great chemistry in
This
those
is what
films.
started it all.
Yeah. Hmm. Have you uh, have you heard of the podcast Dead Eyes?
You're not coming through right now for me.
It's okay. um, I'm going to talk, and then hopefully at some point my words are going to be making sense to you.
I got that.
Great. Perfect. It was the exact amount of time that I needed. Uh, so the next line, now that we know about your favorite band, movie, or kitchen appliance, is uh, tell us your story through an old pair of pants. Uh, so basically, uh, if you have a pair of pants, you can tell us about it, uh, and connect it to your life somehow. I mean, I imagine it'll kind of tell us a bit about you by what you say about your pair of pants.
Okay. Well, I don't have a lot of pants with me to draw on.
Yeah, right. This is kind of a funny situation for you, uh,
Um,
where a
but
lot of stuff.
I happen to be wearing one of my very favorite pairs of pants.
Wonderful, perfect.
And I think that the important part of this story here is that at the moment I can't quite button the pants. So I zip them up and fix my belt and just have to live with that at the moment.
Now,
So I think that's a pretty telling story.
all right. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. I I was going to ask you about specifics of that, but I think you're right. I think it can be telling in its own right. Uh, wonderful, wonderful. Now, I want to know you through your history of cars, or show us your trash to show who you are. So, did that come through?
What?
That answer, that was telling in itself. Uh,
You want to see my trash, Dan?
I either want to see your trash, or you can tell me about your history of cars if you want.
Oh, that might be lengthy. We'll look at what's in the trash here.
Yes, this is the first trash look we've gotten. Everyone else has gone for cars, and I've been really disappointed about that.
So, once again, being that I'm living in a motel. Hold on, mate.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. Right now, most of my trash is not very interesting or accurate to my life. But what's on top is,
Great.
right now we've got a couple of Target bags. I did a grocery run. I needed some shampoo. But importantly, what's on top is this. Any guesses?
At first, I was thinking banana peel, but no, definitely not. Looks kind of like a dead plant. Um, yeah, I imagine that there, like, I could maybe come up with some other guesses, but shredded wrapper of something. Is that all do I have to keep guessing to try to figure out what this is? I saw it was not either of the first ones. Some kind of food item.
Very good. Okay, I'll ooh, real quick. The spooky tree is really spooking right now, or it just was. It must be shy. It was really, really scraping. It was awful.
Unfortunately, that sound does not particularly come through.
Oh man, what is You know that wrapper that's on summer sausage?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my very favorite things, and one of the few comforts that I brought from home that I knew that I couldn't necessarily get out here in the wilderness.
Motel 6 wilderness.
The other comfort from home that I brought that's home specific, and I knew that I couldn't get out here. I know I'm kind of commandeering this prompt, but
Oh yeah, please.
showing you what I brought from
Pickled eggs.
the homeland.
Great.
I know you can. Yeah, you know it's hard to get these anywhere else but home.
At first, I thought maybe it was pickled herring.
Oh, I wish, but I didn't want to bring a glass jar.
I found it in plastic before, but I get it. Wow, great. So then the last lines of the song are, "You don't have to paint it. You could use your bookshelf. I just want you to give us a self-portrait." So at this point in the song, you have the choice of whether or not you can be satisfied with the portrait that what you've already shown us has given you or given us of you, uh, or you can, uh, offer something else up as more of a self-portrait.
You know, I feel like working with what I've got right now, I've done about the best I can.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for playing. You've been a great innocent. I'm so pleased you showed us your trash. It's every time I hope people are going to do their trash, and everyone goes for the cars. Let's see what else we got going on. I think I see we have a viewer checking us out. Hello, viewer. Welcome to the Hot Show. Feel free to say hi in the comments. Um, taking requests of doing things on the show. You can also join in. I'll just pop that up if you're interested. We are here live with Skunky Beaumont in a skeezy motel, and I am in an apartment. You're welcome to check us out. Join in. We can talk about what your trash is. Or your thoughts on dinosaurs if you want. Skunky, you got any thoughts about dinosaurs at the moment?
What?
Also, Skunky and I are having pretty terrible connection issues. So if you're able to comment, it'd be great to see for you to let us know if I'm the problem or if Skunky over here is the problem. No, I lose all my light.
Shame. Well, friends, I think I have to go to bed now. I'm exhausted.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a real pleasure.
Maybe I'll tune in next week. I'll let you know how my time of driving a big rig has been.
Yeah, please do. I've really enjoyed you showing up to these shows lately. It's been a true pleasure.
Likewise.
All right. Well, anything you want to promote before you jump out of here? Or are you just heading off to sleep?
I don't know. Dig out your sleeping bag, friends, and slide on in.
Great. Wonderful. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
That's a legitimate possibility.
Yeah. I realized as I started that phrase that maybe that's a real concern for you. So don't let it happen, please.
There's a reason why I brought a sleeping bag. I read the reviews online of this motel.
Great.
Wow.
Goodbye. Well, it's been a real nice time so far. Let me just check. I got an update. We do have somebody else that I know will be coming in a little bit. But until then, hello and welcome to some otter time. Oh, where is he? There he is. There he is. I'm unfortunately blocking all the light. Otter cat, would you like to say hello? Otter. Taking a little relax. Unfortunately, I don't have the bumper for otter time handy. Look at that cat. What's he thinking about? Something's going on. It's otter time. We're watching Otter as he looks around. There was a strange sound, but now he's closing his eyes, relaxing now. Oh, yeah. All right. So I wrote a little song this past week. It's based on the beginnings of a song that happened. I wrote during the show last week. Maybe I'll play it for you. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the components here of what is talked about in the song, but I thought it'd be nice to play. Check out this thrift store find. This tiny butcher knife. Look at this grinning sailor man. This little pan and Pyrex pie. Check out what Amy got while sifting for these thrift store finds. Yeah, just a silly little song. You know, you do what you can. Sometimes it's just nice to write a little goofy song about things that your friend bought at a thrift store. Have you ever done that? Just friend got so excited about what they bought while at the thrift store. You just enjoyed the joy that they felt. You were just inspired. Wrote a little song about it. I don't know why I'm here. It's time I look at what I'm doing with my life, settling into a pattern of life, finding ways to get on. Finding ways to get on with it. I kind of felt like I wasn't really going anywhere with that one. Felt like it was going someplace for a little bit, but then it just kind of fell apart. It's kind of what happens. How are you doing tonight? You feeling good? I'm in kind of an interesting place where I don't really know. I don't know. I just kind of feel like I'm floating a little bit. Like it. I don't feel bad or tired out like I do sometimes lately because I've been really busy and I mean as busy as I am. Sometimes it just get really like tired out, but I don't exactly feel that. But I don't exactly feel like I'm excited and moving towards anything exactly. Uh, yeah, but I feel all right, I guess. Do I have any feeling all right songs? Just songs about feeling okay. I imagine I do. It's a good feeling all right song. I'm just feeling okay. No, that's not one. I got a lot of songs about kind of being pensive and thinking about things. It's a feeling all right. Yeah, this song's kind of a feeling all right song. It's kind of a, yeah. All the dreams we shared through our tangled hair come undone. All the weeks gone by, things that make us cry be something new. Oh, don't you believe that we've been gone too? Almost like being underwater, a world, everything gone someplace else. Almost like a daughter, a girl, shimmer, gone someplace else. All we care about, only songs we shout out. And all the dreams we felt somehow seem to melt to be something new. Oh, don't you believe that we've been gone too? Oh, don't you believe that we've been gone too? Well, I hope that came through. I feel like you never really know. You never know. Well. If you're just joining us, this is the Hot Show. I'm Hot the Cat, and I never really know how it's going to be. Never know really who's going to show up. If anyone's even going to be watching this thing. But here I am. Sometimes I wonder about, why do people do stuff? one of my favorite things through this pandemic uh, has been uh, the Planet Scum network. Planet Scum uh, network created by Chris Gethard um, for kind of online comedy shows, like kind of weird, strange comedy shows. And it recently just kind of ended, not in like in an official way. I think it's going to continue in kind of a underground fashion, but in a kind of as an entity, like an official entity, I think it has ceased to exist, or very soon will cease to exist. Um, and I think a large part of that is that, like, in a lot of ways, Planet Scum was this place where people could go because there was nowhere for them to go. All the venues and stuff for comedy had been shut down. All the like a lot of music had been shut down. Like it was just there was nowhere you could go. So it was a kind of beautiful thing to have this online space where the things like that could exist. Because you could just kind of go and you could watch these shows. Like, I mean, tonight, like, there's going to be a great show. Like, I think actually coming up in just a few minutes here at 8 Eastern time. Or wait, 9 Eastern time. Uh, wait, no, 9 Central time, 10 Eastern time. Make Yourself Cry with Denise Mobley is going to be, and it's the last one of those. And that show has been so great. Um, like you just could kind of check in throughout the week, and there'd be these cool shows, and it was a place to kind of like hang out with people in the Twitch chat room and stuff. Um, while you appreciated some ridiculous, goofy thing, uh, and I don't know, it's spaces like that aren't needed as much because things are opening up again. And I wonder about like this show, like I know there's a lot of people out there that watch Twitch, watch Twitch shows like all the time. And I mean, maybe you're one of them, you uh, who's just kind of, this is where you get your content. Um, but also, like, there's something different about performing in a live space. Like, even now, like, I can see that there is a person watching, but in a large way, I have no interaction, even in kind of like a distal way, like I just see that there is somebody. It's like being in a dark room, like standing on a stage or something, and being in a dark room and just looking out and seeing that there is some dark form out there, but there's no reaction from them. There's no like way I can tell if I'm reaching them or if they're looking the other way. Or I mean, like I of course appreciate that you're here, but like there's something different about like being in a space with people, um, where you actually can see, like even if like they still don't have any reaction, like even being there with that is a different experience, and I think also like one that can bring people together in a way that it's really hard to for this, like doing things uh, online like this, and that's why I understand why like Plant Scum is like ending, and I think a lot of other things kind of like that are ending because people can go, like the people who make those things can go to a different place. You know, like they can go out into the real world and hear people laughing. Um, and I wonder if this show, like, part of what's so great about doing this show, doing the hot show, is that uh, I can make this connection um, with people that I'm friends with and that are cool people to collaborate with from all across the country. And I mean, if the timing worked out, it'd be we could do it with people across the world too. But it's hard to connect to a community of people who, as people who might enjoy watching something like this, because I mean, somehow you are here, like watching this, um, and that's great. I'm like, I don't know. I'm really glad that you're here, and somehow, uh, for some reason, you're still here. You're still watching me just blabber on, even though I'm not even interacting with like any of those other friends and stuff that show up and do like amazing, cool art and stuff. Um, I don't know. I don't want to take away that like digital space where like people can come, but I also think that the creation of like a physical space that people could come to would be very cool as well. Because I think people are more and more going to need physical spaces like that, um, because it's so hard to like, I don't know, convince yourself to, I don't know, be here. Like, I don't know, like this is like, I don't know. It's like, so like, is it? I guess like the question is this worth doing for the people who it could be for, or is this? Uh, I don't know. Is this? Could this energy be put to something, even a similar thing that could be more rewarding for an audience and more rewarding for the collaborators who can make it happen? Because it's in some ways it can't. I know that it can be, and it has been a rewarding thing to do, but it's also. I mean, this is the 40th show, and I'm I'm here just kind of chatting meta about how this show's going. Like it's not like it's like going swimmingly exactly. Yeah, I mean if you want to join in, that'd be great. You have the thing. There it is. If not, to anyone watching in the future, GOB Smash. Uh, got this. Put that in the chat there. Um, yeah. I don't know. guess it's just stuff I think about. I hope that was up long enough. I'd love to see you, Joby Smash. Is it Joby Smash or Joby's Mash? Hello, Jason the Aardvark.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Heck yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. How's your aardvarkness today?
It's been a day. I just got back from work like an hour ago, so
Mm.
kind of a long one. But good. I feel good about the work I'm doing. I'm like reorganizing stuff at work, and it's kind of like cathartic and metaphorical. I'm like cleaning out things at work, but I'm also trying to reorganize my own self and to fit into this world, this space that we exist in.
Yeah, it's interesting because you started a job where a there was already momentum, kind of, right?
Hmm.
And you kind of just plopped in the river there.
Yeah. So I'm trying to swim.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I mean, it sounds like maybe at this point you're not just trying to swim, but you're trying to build a little beaver dam or something.
Yes, that's exactly right.
You know, change the flow to suit yourself. Find your own environment in the little home space and the habitat
Hmm.
in the environment and stuff. Yeah.
How are you, Hot? How are you? How's your week?
It's fine. I don't know. It's just the things that I have to do are ramping up to a thrilling conclusion in the next few weeks. So it means that there's, uh, I guess, in a certain way, in the way that you might be uh, making a beaver dam for yourself right now, uh, I feel as though I am perhaps in a herd of antelope.
Hmm.
Um, and they, like, I recognize that I have to run a little bit, but everyone else is starting around me is starting to run faster and faster, and I'm kind of like, oh man, okay, I guess I have to run faster too.
But you're just a cat. You can't run. You can't catch up with a bunch of antelope.
Well, I guess in I mean, you are obviously an aardvark,
That's right.
but you are also a beaver.
Yeah.
I am a cat, but also an antelope.
Wow. Well, that sounds hard.
Yeah, but like, it's also like, in a certain way, like, I also recognize that, like, it feels good to do this sometimes. Like, it
Hmm.
feels good to be part of, like, a group, and I am using the, like, bodily potential that I have to its extent a little bit more than I usually do. A lot of times I'm just kind of like, man, this grass here is pretty nice. I'm enjoying kind of being here. Oh, let me walk over to that river. But, like, sometimes it kind of feels like you have to. It feels good to use the potential that you have sometimes,
Hmm.
but I think at the end I am going to be tired.
I think that's reasonable given the running part.
Right.
Did it feel like you caught you off guard this journey?
No, it didn't catch me off guard. I knew it was coming, um, but that doesn't change that I'm tired. And also, like,
Reasonable.
the I also know that as soon as I um, stop running, like, I'm going to walk off in a different direction,
Hmm.
and so it kind of is like but like I don't really care that I'm running with everyone this direction because I'm gonna go that direction, kind of.
The antelope divide. The
Yeah,
great,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I feel kind of like, uh, yeah, I don't know, like I'm not, uh, I don't know, like I'm looking around and being like, wait a minute, these are all antelope, and I'm an ibex. Like,
Oh, okay.
well, maybe that's not a good one because I
I
think
feel like though there might be other antelope feeling that way too.
yeah, I think you're probably right. It's
Mhm.
just a particularly salient feeling for me at this point.
Thanks for sharing it. It's really it's validating. I've been at points in my life where I felt that way for sure. Sometimes it really some of those times ended up being not that hard of a run. Others went ended up being way more running than I thought they'd be. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope that it's the former, not the latter. But regardless, I wish you well through it.
Thank you, thank
Mhm.
you. I wish you well through your damming.
Yeah, it's about I'd say 25% right now built.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So there's some groundwork being laid, but like
Yeah, yeah.
the structure is still TB. It's like that treehouse episode we did.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's like can't remember which of the treehouse I'd compare it to, but maybe more ramshackle at the moment. But
Yeah, one of those. Well, yeah, yeah. Maybe kind of the simpler ones. Uh,
yeah,
because I was thinking there was that one um, that was like kind of shoddy, but was stacked really high. But
I'm remembering that one too. Yeah,
I don't think that's what you're talking about. Really, you're talking about uh, building up. You're starting to lay some stuff. You have some stuff already kind of
yeah, like
stacked,
the
but like
walls, like one wall's up, maybe like
yeah, yeah, right,
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
and some supplies kind of starting something else. But yeah, yeah.
And my manager gave me this responsibility to run a summer program, which I asked for. I asked for this responsibility to for the students because they were going to previously be locked out this summer. So it's just going to be me and one other person. So I'm like, no, I want more people. I want more work. And now I got it, and I think it's good, but I'm finding myself responsible for coordinating the dam building and building it, and I'm not used to that, and it's a good thing.
Yeah,
But and all the other beavers have been really kind about it so far. But
that's good.
yeah,
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad that uh, even though you have a lot of work ahead of you, that it sounds like the environment has been kind to
for the most part, it has, it has. Yeah, there's
you.
always something to complain about. It's been good, and I'm still collecting cassette tapes also.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I was just thinking about you. I remembered I saw your text
oh,
to
no
me,
worries.
and I'd like to do that before I'm going to be leaving town for a little
Oh,
bit um, at some point. Um, and so I want to do it before that. I want to send you that.
I got something interesting in a tape. I got like one of the tapes I got from this company Z Tape came with a negative film.
Oh, cool.
I don't think it's supposed to. It's like I did that thing where you can use your phone these days and you scan the negative
Oh,
and it
really?
flips the color. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I had no idea. I texted my dad and I was like, "Is this actually a film?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's apparently it's a wider format than is typically seen, but maybe like a special type of camera. But I think this
Mm-hmm.
is like a building here where my finger is. So
Hmm.
like some sort of a bridge and then like it's really hard to tell because the
Oh,
colors are
here.
inverted. And
Yeah, get it. Oh.
maybe if I held it up to something. Oh, that's my address. There we go. Maybe a little easier to see? I don't know. Anyway, you're
Yeah,
looking at the inversion of it, so then you have to think about, you know, what the actual picture is. But it's surprised to get in the tape, which is always fun. This was the tape I got. It's called uh, Earth Boy is the artist, and it's the EP. I think it's just called EP. I think it's great. Cassettes are so fun. Oh, and we have a 3D printer today. as well.
Oh, cool.
It can.
That's fun.
I just should have turned it off, but yeah, it can move around, and I was printing some parts for one of my freelance clients,
Cool.
which can't really talk too much. It's like an eyeshadow brush, but I can't really say any more than that.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no.
Secret. It shoots lasers. It doesn't shoot lasers.
That would be impressive. I didn't know that you could 3D print something that could shoot lasers.
Yeah, you just have to ask the 3D printer really nicely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who knew? It was a matter of politeness.
Yeah, that's right. They're really like they're little pets, really. Let me see if I can. I'm also working in. I've got some of the plastic. This is a filament type printer. So this is the plastic that you put into it, and then let me grab the handle. Ugh. This is one of the parts it made. So this is half of a something.
Cool.
Still, I'm realizing now that I did it, I have to now redesign it. But it's pretty cool, you know. You can sculpt something on in a 3D modeling thing and ask your printer nicely, and it'll make it for you, which is pretty cool.
That
It's
is
not
cool.
quite Star Trek, but it's pretty cool. I think the name 3D printing is a little disingenuous because it's nothing like ink printing. It's more of like a hot glue gun attached to a gantry that just kind of moves around. And you hope it works, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, but I guess what else would 3D printing refer to in your mind?
I think that it could be. It's a good point. It's a good point. The industry term is additive manufacturing to refer to the fact that you're adding in layers usually. But
Right. Right.
whereas 3D printing, I think it sort of infers a sense of almost magic. It feels to me like a marketing term. Like, oh, like
Yeah.
you can make whatever you want. Just 3D print yourself a bike. But additive manufacturing sounds more like, oh, like you're doing like more limited. It
Yeah.
feels like it's setting the expectation lower. Because people will come to me at various points in my job or my freelance work and say, "Can you 3D print?" I think the best one I got was a PS4. That was it was on. I was on a Reddit. I was trying to do a Reddit stream, and the guy was like, "Can you print a PS4?" And I'm like, "No." But I wanted to say, yeah. I wanted to be like, "Yeah, like tell me how many you need. I got you. 10? 100? No problem. I'll just tell my printer."
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
you obviously have the schematics for that.
Yeah, naturally. It comes with the printer. But we're not supposed to tell anyone that.
Sorry. Just forget that you saw that. Anyone watching?
Yeah, please.
That's funny.
How is the weather treating you? I have heard it's quite warm in Chicago these days.
Today wasn't too bad. It was fairly pleasant today. It did get warmer. The last week was quite warm. I think the highest I heard that it got to was 97.
That is very warm. That is hot. The weather. That is.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it was a surprise too. I had heard it was going to be in the 80s. And then suddenly it was 97. I also was kind of sick
Oh, sorry.
last week. So it was kind of like a weird time to be sick too, because
Yeah.
it was just oppressively warm.
Oppressively warm, and then you're
In,
feeling depressively sick. Yeah.
right, right. Yeah. But I don't know. It's interesting because the plants uh, were very pleased, I think.
Mm.
We had this like, because it had been raining on and off for like a month, um, basically. I heard at one point that there was like one completely clear day in the past like 2 months or something like that.
Oh wow.
Um, I think that's what it was. So there was a lot of like just kind of like rain that kind of just soaked the ground a little bit. Um, and so once the weather turned warm, like it had already kind of like there had been buds on the trees, and there had been the magnolias had come out and everything. Birds had started kind of coming around. But once the weather got like super hot, I think it just all the trees were just like, okay, now we're just sucking up all the water, and they are so full now. Like it went from like over the course of like a week to like buds and like a little bit of leaves, like kind of like early leaves, to like full summer uh, foliage.
Do you think it'll come back to like is because sometimes it gets hot and then goes right back down to chilly. That's what we got here in Boston at the moment.
It went to like 50s pretty
Wow.
quick after, and now it went back up to I don't think it got to 80s too. I think it was just 70s.
I wonder how the trees feel about this shift.
Yeah.
I've always wondered this because sometimes it feels like it gets really hot and the nature's like, okay, it's our time. We're time to bloom, and then it comes back and like, what the heck, like. But they're
Well,
probably
I mean, it is interesting because there was a time when I was walking around the city a whole lot, like a few years ago, before the olden days, before pre-pandemic, and one of the springs there was this fairly warm stretch when a bunch of trees kind of started coming out, when it was really early spring, um, and a bunch of trees started getting their leaves, um, and then we had like rain that froze everything, um, and so like I think it messed up a bunch of trees like cycles and stuff, because like their leaves like suddenly couldn't, like they were there, but they were kind of like a little wrinkled for a little bit, and I don't know, it was really weird. Got like snow going on. It like knocked. I think it got some of the like flower petals that had been starting to grow. Just kind of like we're like, okay, well, falling off, I guess.
yeah, that would be confusing for me as a tree, I think. And frustrating if I would my arms were frozen on position. What if they got frozen in a weird position? Like,
Well, yeah, but I think they're kind of used to that.
that's true.
They're they don't have a lot of like mobility
That's true.
with their arms.
Well, I hope that the warm weather treats you well.
Thanks. I was the quick shift uh, did make me have some intense allergies also,
Oh no.
but uh, I'm fine now.
Okay.
I'm quite happy with the weather, however it is.
That's a nice attitude to have, I think.
I don't know. I just like the the outside. I like I like it outside.
Do you have a favorite tree?
Um, do you mean kind of tree or specific tree?
I guess a kind of tree. I don't really know that many specific trees. I probably would just nod and say cool if you named something really specific, like a marbled birch. I don't know. I
Well,
probably,
I
yeah.
guess
I don't know if that's a tree, but
I guess that to me is a kind of tree.
oh, okay.
Uh,
Oh, like a specific, like the tree at the corner of
yeah, yeah,
Y and X Street.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh, there are some good trees in Chicago, though. I really like in Logan Square. There's this park, Humboldt Park. No, Palmer Square. I always really liked that little area there. Uh,
Haven't spent a lot of time there. I don't think.
One time I got yelled at my university because I was climbing the trees, and in the same day they had the university photographer photograph me, and then they had the police yell at me to get down. Like same day. It's, the photo's still on their website. I liked it up there, and I still climb trees when I can. Though
That's
some
funny.
people have said climbing trees can be bad for trees, and I think it can be true, but I don't think it's universally true. Do you have an opinion on that?
I don't know for sure.
Hmm.
My thinking, um, the way I've imagined a lot is that if you are being uh, aware of the stresses that you're putting on the tree,
Hmm.
um, I like to imagine that the tree enjoys it, like kind of like where, it's good to feel a stretch every now and then, like in a direction maybe you're not used to. Like I kind of always imagine that trees kind of like the wind a little bit because it kind of like moves their limbs. Uh,
Hmm. Yeah, that.
I can
Yeah,
imagine like getting that pressure on it and then the release from that pressure of somebody like standing on it would kind of be nice. As long
yeah.
as you're not like putting enough pressure to like, cause a crack or something like that.
That's yeah. I mean, that rarely happens sometimes, but most part, one of my rules of thumb is when I'm climbing a tree, if the I always stay as close to the trunk as I can, both for my own safety, but
Mhm.
also a little bit to decrease the. I mean, the stress on the tree is also like related to my safety. If a tree branch snaps, I
Right.
also have my other rule is always have a backup branch. So if you're on one, you always have to have at least one other branch that's supporting you too.
Good.
If you get to the top of the point where you can no longer have that, that's when I usually call it quits. But I've climbed pretty high on trees, maybe to a dangerous point, but not pretty high. There's some good trees out there.
I um go back and quickly answer your question.
Oh yeah.
Um, I have particularly been enjoying magnolia trees this
Oh,
year. Um, and I've enjoyed magnolia trees for a long time. I'm also very partial to ginkgo trees.
I'm gonna have to Google that real quick.
Um, they're a very unique thing.
Magnolia, I
They
can visualize. I think. Oh
they
wow, the leaves are very interesting.
Yeah, ginkgo trees, because evolutionarily they are unique trees,
Really?
because they are about in a certain way like halfway between like a conifer. Like you can, if you look at their leaves, like it's a bunch of lines like this rather than like all kind of
Whoa,
fanning out
you're right.
smashed together.
There's not really like a vein.
Yeah, there aren't veins. So in a certain way, it's kind of like halfway between a like coniferous tree
Mhm.
with its needles and a deciduous tree, and that's like evolutionarily so.
That is really cool. Is
Yeah,
this something that you can see around the country, or is this something that you would have to like? Are there a lot of ginkgo trees
yeah. Ginkgo trees are
in the
not
U.S.?
native to the U.S., but the people have uh, planted them all over the place because they are really nice ornamental trees.
I will keep an eye out, and it looks like they do change color,
They
unlike
do. They do.
coniferous trees.
Yeah.
And do they also lose their leaves as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. I wonder if there are any good ones to climb. They look like they'd be good ones to climb because they have that
I
kind of structure.
I've never really climbed them because they aren't. I haven't encountered a ton of them that are very large. They don't. The ones that
Yeah.
a lot of the ones I've encountered are fairly small.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah. And as far as a specific tree, there is a very nice weeping willow in the park near me that
Really?
I really like, and I found you could climb very easily. I haven't climbed it in a long time though, because sometimes I just uh, there's a lot of people in the park, and I don't want
Yeah.
to you know
Oh
be
yeah.
right in the
9 times out of
stairs.
10, I don't climb trees. The one time out of 10 that was glorious.
Yeah,
But most of the time, when I sit for either that reason or maybe I don't just feel like it that day, it's kind of a aggressive thing to do to my body. I feel like, but yeah, that's a reasonable thing. I bet it's a beautiful tree. That sounds nice. Is it near a pond or a body of water, or is it just on its own? Because I don't think I've
um,
ever seen one that's not by a body of water.
it's it's near a natural area of the park
Uh huh.
that they've let kind of grow with the uh, native plants and stuff.
Okay.
Um, and it is an area that does tend to flood. Um,
Oh, Interesting.
But unfortunately, because it's a park, they also put a grate in there to let it drain down,
Okay.
which is kind of weird, but also I guess I get it. I don't know.
Yeah, there might be ecological reasons for that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think more so it's so that people are able to still use the park.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, that's somewhat nice, I guess.
yeah. But that's where all the red-winged blackbirds hang out. It's in that area, um, and uh, yeah, which are kind of like birds that tend to hang out around like marshy areas and stuff.
That's pretty cool. That sounds great. That
Yeah.
red-winged blackbird is just a pleasing like name of animal to me.
Also, really interesting little songs and stuff. You, I'm sure, would recognize the sound of the red-winged blackbird if you've spent any time in, forests, especially like in the Midwest. I mean, I only mostly know from being in the Midwest, kind of being out.
I love that some of the bird names from the Midwest. I lived in a street called Waxwing at one point, which is another bird.
Wax,
And we live near a prairie preserve.
nice. Very nice.
I think it's called the waxwing because there's a little bit of an accent on these birds' wings that are slightly lighter in color. But I think a lot of birds have that, so I'm not exactly sure what it was. But yeah, I think here in my current apartment, there's enough birds nearby that, and I love like their sounds are very distinct, and they start around 3:30 in the morning because sometimes I can't sleep. And the other day I saw a bird climb up to the top of an electrical pole and make like a really distinct like lower pitch sound. That was kind of like one of those like, like no, it was lower than that. It was like it's one of those birds I could never pinpoint until I heard it. And I was like, oh, that's that bird making that sound.
Is it yeah, is it kind of like a low cooing?
It was a long sound. It was like a
Oh.
long lower, but not like a bass frequency, like mid range, maybe the lower end of the high end, maybe. A little higher, maybe like yeah, and then kind of like two longer sounds followed like by a bunch of shorter kind of pitched ones, and then like hoo doo something like that, and then they repeated that a bunch of times.
Sounds like it could be possibly a mourning dove.
It was like it's a very resonant sound. I think if I'm probably not, I'm not doing it well.
Well,
And
yeah,
it did look like a mourning dove though.
okay, yeah.
That sound. Let me look it up real quick. Are you a birder? Oh yeah. That looks right.
I got very into birds during the pandemic as a way to like go on a, like my partner and I would go on a walk and we would just try to figure out what all the birds were around us
Oh, nice.
and try to spot birds that we didn't recognize and stuff. And so we got really into that. It's funny because like right before the pandemic, we checked out a BBC documentary from the library that was all about birds, and so we just had this DVD of like a bird documentary,
Hmm.
and we're like, "Wow, birds are really cool. This is really interesting." And then the pandemic hit, and we were like, let's check out all these birds around us. Let's look them up and stuff.
Sounds like good timing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. One of the craziest facts I learned from that bird documentary, um, they're the earliest mammal to live in uh, New Zealand was the human.
Huh.
Yeah.
Don't they have that? Speaking of New Zealand, don't they have the bird, the kiwi?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it is a bird actually.
it is a bird, and the reason that it is the way it is because it's this really like it burrows in the ground, um, and it eats like ground insects a lot and stuff. Um, the reason that it can't even be like that is because it takes the place of other things like aardvarks and like um, badgers and stuff that normally fill that like ecological niche. Uh, and because there weren't those mammals, this the kiwi bird filled that niche. Uh,
Wow.
really interesting.
I wonder if it like almost devolved then from being a like I want to say devolved, but evolved to not have wings
Yeah.
to have to fill that. Okay, wow, that's
I
really
think
interesting
so.
because that would
Yeah.
probably maybe make it harder to burrow, unless there are other birds that burrow. I don't know of any.
I don't know of a lot of birds that burrow. I don't know.
A woodpecker comes to mind, but that's not really the same thing. I'm not
Um,
really sure that they do that to burrow. Actually, I think woodpeckers may do that for food or.
yeah.
Okay.
It, yeah. Also for comedy sometimes. Uh, we have somebody here. I'm gonna bring him in.
Yay.
Hey Max,
Hello.
how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. This show's been pretty nice. Hanging out with Jason here, and Skunky was here a bit earlier.
Oh, too bad I missed him. Hey, Jason. I don't
Hey,
think I've
Max.
ever met you before.
Really? That's
Yeah.
funny.
Nice to meet you, Max.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Tell me about yourself, please.
I'm 27. I live in Boston. I'm an
Once again,
aardvark.
just yet reminder: don't say anything too. Don't show your address again and stuff.
Thank you for that. Um, I live at some place in the East Coast, somewhere. I work in the university, um, and I was in Chicago, and used to go to a coffee shop a lot where I met someone else who helps run the show,
Yeah,
and that's how I found out about it.
Max knows Ryan.
Oh yeah, yeah. So hopefully that's some information about me.
Yeah,
How are you doing, Max?
I'm good.
Are you feeling like any particular animals today?
Not really.
Because when Jason got here, it came to pass that as our names imply, we are an aardvark and a cat, but we also realized that we're a beaver and an antelope.
It's true.
So uh, yeah, uh, just wondering if you happen to feel like any multiple animals or singular animals, or. But if not,
No,
it's no big deal.
I just feel overwhelmed.
I was feeling that today too.
Yeah. So, what's on your mind, Max?
A lot of stuff. One thing is that um, my deadline for finishing Ruby and Rusty is like really soon.
Hmm.
Do you mind me asking what that is, Max?
It is a video game I'm making.
Oh wow, I like video games.
Really, it's a cool game.
Yeah, I'm excited to finish it. It's pretty close to being finished, but I don't think it's. I wanted to finish it by tomorrow, but I don't think that's possible.
Hmm.
Does that have anything to do with why you're feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah, it's one of the things that I need to finish
Yeah.
or do.
Well, I'm proud of you for getting this far. That's really exciting to be ready at the point to launch a game. That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And it not only that, it's going to be it's a Game Boy game, and so it's going to be released in a physical form, right?
hmm That's why there's a deadline.
Got it. You've got to get. What kind of file do you deliver in this case to like a? Do you just send them the code? I'm guessing there is a packager of sorts.
Yeah, you send them a ROM file,
Oh, okay. That
which you
sounds
can
that's
also
exciting.
play in an emulator on your
Right.
computer.
Have you been excited about like the whole pocket analog thing?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's
Mhm.
way out of my price range, but it is really
Same.
cool. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make a pocket analog version of the game.
Oh, really?
hmm Yeah, I can make a compatible file that can be loaded on I think, an SD card. I don't really know how they work totally.
I thought that the pocket analog was for a hardware, like you could just put in a cartridge, like it was an FPGA, a field programmable game.
Yeah,
I'm
you
yeah.
can absolutely do that, but
Okay.
it does have like a slightly modified ROM format.
Okay.
I don't really know the specific details, but
No,
I know that
I
it's not the same as like a normal Game Boy ROM because that prevents piracy.
okay. Oh,
Oh, they got to him.
he got taken out by a pirate. The dang. Oh, he's back. Ah, how heck yeah.
Yeah, I accidentally pushed F5.
Oh,
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I didn't know that it refreshed the page in Opera.
well, good on Opera for adopting the shortcut, but bummer for.
Yeah, that's why I don't think a single button should be used for that feature. I prefer Command R.
Right. Like
Mm,
Alt F4, you know? You don't just press F4, you don't just press Alt. You gotta press
yeah,
both.
Right.
yeah. It's hard to accidentally press Alt F4,
It's true.
except for that it's built into my identity. Uh,
Okay.
you know, it's muscle memory to just do that.
hmm
Hmm. For me, it's Command W to close a window or
Yeah.
Command Q to quit.
Yeah, I mean, Command Q is also built into me by now, but my earlier years were Alt F4.
Yeah, I've Alt F4 a good amount in my days. I'm happy it still works. Sometimes I feel like that's gonna be it's a relic of a bygone era.
Yeah, it's a weird shortcut.
But like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to imagine. I don't know. I know what you mean, but also like, I think there are a lot of people out there that still operate in that world, uh, because like I know that like it's obviously we live in the world of the mouse,
Mhm.
but I still think key commands. How could they ever really go away? I mean, unless you're getting into like, yeah, I don't know. They just seem like they're so useful
Mhm.
um, to be able to just do anything. I used to be able to do everything without ever touching the mouse, even like I think as far as like Windows XP, um, I didn't need anything.
But why?
I mean, I get that, but also there was a time when my mouse wasn't working, and I had to like restart my computer, and so I had to like go through the process of doing that without using my mouse.
Hmm.
There's also the opposite scenario. Sometimes your keyboard doesn't work, but your mouse does. And then you got to do like, there's like a typing keyboard you can get up, I think on some versions of Windows, I don't know. But
Oh yeah. I
you
think
know,
I
it'll
know what you
basically
mean.
act like a touch screen, but you're just going from mouse to, yeah. No, I think keyboard shortcuts are great. There's some software that allows you to like if you want to go to File, View, you would just hit Alt V or something, and it would bring down that drop down or something like that. And I always find that to be a cool power user thing when I can get it to work.
A cool feature in Mac OS is you can change or add keyboard shortcuts to any application.
Man, I need to get a Mac. I've been using Windows my whole life.
Yeah, I actually use that feature more often than you might think because it's pretty awesome. Like if an application doesn't have a keyboard shortcut for something you use a lot, you can just go into the system preferences keyboard thing and add it.
Huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I was.
It's been there.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's been there for a long time, since like very early versions.
I was gonna say there was a time when Max and I shared a computer when we were living together for a little while, and I recently was using somebody else's laptop. They had a Mac, and realized that all the things that Max had shifted in my settings, um, because I had recently gotten that computer and I had never had a Mac before or a laptop. I had always had Windows desktops before that, and Max made a whole lot of changed a bunch of settings to be suited to kind of what he was used to. And I recently realized that not everybody has all of those settings.
I just think of it as like making it easier to use. What kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
things did you notice?
Well, the most obvious one was the direction of how using um, the pad.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? That actually just they changed that. Like on your previous computer, that was just the way it was. But they changed it after the iPhone got really popular to match up with the scroll direction.
But
But
it
I
felt so awkward to me. And then there was also other things about like using the. I mean, it was mostly stuff about using the pad because like we also set it up so that you could drag stuff easily.
yeah.
And I was trying to do something like that on their laptop, and I was like, "Why isn't this working? Like, this is such an easy way to move things. Why can't I do this?"
Yeah, I don't know why that's not enabled by default. There are a lot of little things like that that I always change. Like I always add the applications folder to the dock, and then I change the way it shows so it looks like a list instead of like a bunch of icons.
I did not know you could do that. I have used a Mac before, and I did not know you could do
Yeah.
that.
And like another really bizarre choice is if you add a folder to the dock, it shows like the files in the folder, but it just makes it look like that file is in the dock. It's
That
it's
is
one of
bizarre.
the dumbest choices they've ever made. But you can change it to look like a folder, so I always just do that. So you know what folder you're clicking on. Because otherwise it looks like there's like an icon for an application in your dock, but it's actually a folder. If it's the applications folder.
I see what you mean.
I feel like I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of things like that.
Do you find the Mac to be a good software to make games on?
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it depends on the kind of thing you're using, right? Because we're
not really. Pretty much all engines for making games are available on the Mac.
I did not know that.
Yeah, like the most popular one is Unity. That one. is back compatible. Game Maker, all of them. I can't think of any. The only thing that's not Mac compatible is like Microsoft's IDE, but that's not really a game engine. That's for people who would be coding a game engine themselves.
Okay.
And if you wanted to do that, you could use Apple's IDE, which is, like the software you use to make software.
Okay. Yeah. And then you'd be making a piece of software that then you would make a game from.
Pretty much. Or just kind of like something in the middle where you're making like the game and the engine of the game. But most people don't do that because they don't need to, and it's a lot of extra work.
Are you also doing like the art and music for your game as well? If there is, oh wow, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot of work.
Yeah. Satisfying though, I hope.
For sure. It is, yeah.
Hmm.
I want to release one game where I do all of those things. Although actually it's going to be two because Ruby and Rusty is a game that I started. It's like a smaller game. The main game I'm making is called Wink and the Broken Robot.
Whoa.
But I did Ruby and Rusty for a contest because the prize was like $1,000.
Wow.
So I put kind of a lot of energy and time into it. So I didn't win, but I decided to finish it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yeah. So it's not as much as Wink. Like Wink has a lot more content and stuff.
Sure.
And a lot more different assets. Like it has a lot more songs, a lot more environments, stuff like that. Ruby and Rusty is a lot simpler.
What do you want people to experience when they play your game?
Well, I want them to have fun and want to play it.
I like that. That sounds good. Games that are fun are nice.
A lot of the time, I add things in games that I think that I notice in the world that I don't think other people do. Or like environments that I think are interesting but are not maybe noticed or appreciated. Ruby and Rusty is a little different from most of the stuff or most of the games I make, because it's more like based on a farm, which was inspired by the farm that I lived on when I was a kid. So there's a lot of that. It's not an environment I've really spent a lot of time and energy putting into games, but there were a lot of interesting things about living on a farm. So I think that there is a little bit of that, but I didn't really spend a lot of time thinking about what I wanted people to experience. I just wanted to make a game that I thought was good. So I think it's more like intuitively choosing something I think is fun and interesting.
That makes sense.
I think it's fun. I think it's a fun game.
There you go. The Hot the Cat endorsement.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to testing it out on my Game Boy, because I have like a thing that can make like flash cartridges, and that's pretty a good thing to do to test that out before releasing it. But it's also fun to play my games on them.
Yeah, that's really
I
cool.
think that'd be really cool. So you take the ROM file and then put it on the flash cart, and then you can play it on your hardware.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, like, because would you use that as a development tool? Like, I assume there's a way to kind of play it on your computer, but then that would be another step beyond that. Or no, is that
Pretty much, yeah.
okay?
I mean, you can play it on an emulator.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just creates like a normal Game Boy ROM file that I test out on an emulator, and then I haven't really tested Ruby and Rusty on real hardware that much. I think I might have done it one time,
Hmm.
but I think I I mean I might do it one of these days just for fun, you know. But there's really no advantage to testing it out on real hardware other than I think I just feel like I probably should just in case.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't usually do it that often.
I feel like there could be something to like the size, like seeing what the art looks like at that size,
Yeah, but
stuff like that.
I can't really change the size of any of the sprites because I'm
Mm.
using Game Boy Studio
Well,
2.
yeah, but
So.
like not like the size of the sprites, but like like I'm kind of depending on like that single pixel to get an idea of what that's an eyeball or something like that. You know, that could be like, oh, I need to make that a little bit more obvious with some extra lines or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I could definitely see that. I don't think that's ever actually happened,
Yeah,
though.
I mean, you do good art, like good pixel art that is generally pretty obvious what's going on.
Oh, now I realize I have
Yeah,
a question. Is this for the Game Boy, like with the black and white graphics, or the Game Boy Color, sort of Game Boy Advance era where they added color and stuff?
it's compatible with the black and white, but mainly I'm making it for color.
Okay.
Like I always test it out in color, and I don't have a black and white Game Boy, although I would actually really like one. Like I want a
Hmm.
Game Boy Pocket, or apparently in Japan they released something called the Game Boy Light, which was
I've
like,
always wanted a Game Boy Light. Yeah. Ever since I
yeah,
heard about it. Like,
I would like one.
it's the one thing that Game Boys did not have that always drives me crazy.
I know.
I love the
Like,
SP for that reason, but
yeah, actually that's what I've been using.
yeah.
I used my brother's, like I gave my Game Boy Color to my sister for some reason, and when I was older, like in high school or something, I don't know why I did, but anyway, I was using my brother's Game Boy Color, but it sucks to use without a backlight.
Yeah. I don't know how we did it when we were younger.
I know, it's really
I'd play
crazy.
that
Yeah,
thing in the car, like at
we
night sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We put up with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I've realized, like not too long ago, I played GoldenEye. Um,
And then 64.
yeah, yeah. It
Is that the
was
one where you can slap people?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It was almost impossible to play. I can't believe we put up with that, and that was like the peak entertainment we could do. Like that was like the best thing at that time to like play with friends, and it is so difficult to play. I can't
what's
even.
wrong with it?
It's so hard to look around. Like the way that you look around and the way that you move are like mutually exclusive, kind of.
Yeah, because the N64 controller, as far as I remember, only has one joystick.
Right.
There's not like
Yeah.
two.
And you can use the D-pad to strafe,
Okay.
but like you only have so many fingers the way it's set up.
Yeah, and the joystick's in the middle of the N64 controller, which is a little weird. I've
Right.
always
And
found.
like you could be using like the like A and B buttons and stuff, or you could be using the joystick, and then you could also be using the D-pad or the joystick, and it was hard to do both. Like all you couldn't do all three at once, um, and then like you had to press a button to aim, and that also used the joystick. And, like it was just like
That sounds hard.
it
That
was
reminds me
crazy.
of like
It was
how
craziness.
I tried playing Tomb Raider with a friend in college, and the controls were just horrible. Have you guys ever played Tomb Raider?
Not
Is
for a
that the
very long
no?
time. That is way
One
way.
thing is the PlayStation doesn't have analog controls, but it's a
Mhm.
3D game. So you like use the one D-pad to spin around and then another D-pad to move forward and backward. It's like I don't understand why anybody ever played that game. It was bad from the start.
Okay, but Metal Gear Solid, the original, I was playing that with my brother recently, and it was phenomenal.
I still have
They
never
did really well.
played that.
It's good.
Because I didn't have the system.
I only played it recently. I grew up on the Game Boy Color. Just the Game Boy Color was my first one. Then never had an N64. My friends' brothers had it, so I was like the younger, like I wasn't in the N64 club. And then GameCube when that came out, but I was already like a little older by then. But I definitely have played my fair share of not GoldenEye so much. I remember Mario Party 2 for some reason. Banjo Kazooie. And
Banjo-Kazooie was great.
I lost to Ryan recently. He's really good.
And what?
Super Smash.
Oh, Smash Brothers. Yeah. Yeah, Smash Brothers was like, yeah, I think it, like, for people who are getting into Smash Brothers now,
Mhm.
like, it's hard to imagine what an amazing thing that was when it first came out. Like,
I believe that.
it was so great. I remember one of my friends in elementary school getting it, and we stayed up almost an entire night as like fourth graders playing the game because it was just so much fun.
Would you play the one player and take turns, or would you play the versus mode, or both? Or
Both. We
yeah,
did both.
yeah.
Because you would get the secret characters and stuff.
I actually have a fun fact about that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a really active competitive scene in Peru for Super Smash Bros. 64. I don't know why. There's an active scene in the U.S. too, but like people still play that version of it.
Yeah, I mean, there is a charm to it that the ones after just don't have the same, like, because they got so competitive.
Mhm.
Like, it's hard to like enjoy. I don't know. Like, there's something very unique about that one, especially because it's so slow compared to the ones that were made later on.
I haven't played the 64 version for a long time, but I think the GameCube version is good.
I like Melee, yeah, but
It
I'm
was
not.
it was fast, but it was good.
I watched the Melee because people have figured out how to do all kinds of stuff on it.
I'm sure.
There's a lot of
That's the
Really?
one that they use for competitions to this day.
Really?
Melee and Ultimate are both competitively viable. I mean, people still play the N64 one, but there's maybe like 100 people, 200 people that are in the scene. Maybe that might be an understatement,
I
but
think it is, but I'm not sure.
I bet we could find a Twitch channel where people are playing it right now.
I do believe that.
Oh, you
In
can find multiple ones.
You think that there's multiple Super Smash 64?
Oh, I thought you meant Melee.
I want to
Oh
check.
no, Melee. I think you're absolutely right. We could find more than one.
There are 12 viewers
I'd
for
say
the original Super
probably.
Smash Bros. And there are two streams.
2 streams. Oh, I was wrong.
One is doing net play, and the other is a speedrunner who's doing Samus on very easy for some reason.
Ah, huh. Maybe they need to get better.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and then Super Smash Bros. Melee and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate are the two. I play a lot of Ultimate, but I only watch Melee as a spectator because there's a lot of interesting stuff in that scene and that game.
You only watch it, you don't play it?
No, I don't have a GameCube anymore, though. There's something
Oh.
that they came out with during the pandemic that improves the online code of the original GameCube game. It's called
cool.
rollback netcode, and it's a way of helping to reduce lag in fighting games. And I believe it works by basically having the game kind of storing the last things you did. So if at some point it loses track, it can actually roll back, and that's where the term comes from. It's a way of like reconciling differences in terms of like what you enter versus what the game thinks you've entered, because by the time it's reached the other person, I don't know. I don't know the mechanics of it, but rollback netcode has become a staple in modern fighting games. Even the newest Smash Brothers doesn't have it, but now the GameCube one does, and that was huge during the pandemic. It's called Project Slippy, as in Slippy, the do the barrel roll Slippy.
Mm-hmm.
from Star Fox, which was also an great N64 game, I think.
Yeah, that was.
And Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I never really played the Super Nintendo one.
Me neither. But I know it exists.
I think it was almost a graphics demo because it was like 3D on a 16-bit hardware is probably pretty rare.
Yeah, that's the game that uses the chip that I was talking about in Yoshi's Island that
Yeah,
makes it possible to do
I thought so.
a
Love
lot of
Yoshi's
stuff.
Island.
Yeah, that's my favorite game.
I only played the Game Boy Advance port though, because I never had an SNES.
There's only a slight difference.
I loved it. It was one of my favorite games growing up.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm gonna bring someone else.
That's a really big influence on my game, especially
Garbanzo?
Wink.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Garbanzo.
Talking about video games.
How's it going? Can you hear us?
Oh, it doesn't work when I'm plugged into my thing. Let me.
Garbanzo is plugged into a thing.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello?
Hello.
Are you even making sense? Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, Garbanzo.
How's it going? Sorry about that.
Good. How's
My
it going with you?
Bluetooth speaker doesn't work. How have you folks been? I don't want to interrupt.
Pretty good.
Talking about games,
good.
video games.
Yeah, especially old video games.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Were you-
64.
Were you a fan of the Nintendo 64 Super Smash Brothers?
I played that when I was with friends, but I really liked the Mario where you jump into the paintings. The
Oh, Mario
water
64.
world,
Mario 64.
particular. That third level. Oh. And you'd swim around.
Oh, the swimming.
It was so
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
I was trying to remember what the third level would have been.
I think I think Nintendo 64 graphics have aged very poorly.
Absolutely.
Like it's like the equivalent of Atari.
They'll always
Like
have
the
a
polygons.
Atari is 2D and Nintendo 64 is 3D.
Okay, I can
But
see that.
they are equally good for
But,
what they are, which is not.
But people play Mario 64 in the speedrunning community quite a bit.
I have heard that.
There's a great video that called by this guy Panenkook where you might have heard of it. He goes something about parallel universes, and it's a speedrunning technique where you give Mario so much momentum that he hops off of the map into another version of the map. It's
That's
crazy.
weird.
It's really
I have heard about that. I don't know how I heard about that, but I have heard about that.
There's a meme. It's like something parallel universes or something. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I find that speedrunning stuff to be really, really neat because it's all about like pushing the game to its breaking point almost.
I want people to speedrun my games. I want to figure out how to make that happen.
Can I ask what speedrunning is if anybody might not know?
It's like figuring out how to beat the game as fast as possible.
Or other objectives too. Sometimes it's not about beating the game actually.
You play the game a bunch of times and then just know exactly where to go.
Oh, you've got to watch some speedrunning stuff. It's so wild.
It is. Some of them are insane.
How fast could they
beat they will break the game to beat it.
Exactly.
I'm going to look this up. What is the, or does anyone know what the fastest original Mario is?
It's like 20-something minutes, like 22 or 24.
I like Super Mario 3 the most on the original Nintendo.
I think they got Mario down to minutes. I think.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was
like 2 minutes and 36 seconds or something like that.
Well, I
thought it was like 8 minutes.
I think I'm thinking of 100%.
Oh no!
Because
let's see.
I'm trying to
4 minutes,
imagine
55 seconds.
the way time felt when I was playing it compared to like what it actually was. But I felt like I was playing that for weeks trying to beat that game.
4 minutes.
It's
and
really
54 seconds.
Long. Well, what about the 100%ing it? Because that's obviously not 100%.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah. So if you filter, let's see. So any percent, I think, refers to just getting to any percent completion, not 100%.
Right. Yeah.
Then there's Warpless. That's another run for Super Mario. This is on speedrun.com/SMB1, which is a pretty popular category here. I also love seeing how recently. So the world record for the no warpless run was done a day ago.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Nifty.
But I mean, 100% people are doing it all the time. Like it's a thing.
And it says 18
Nifty
minutes
also,
and 55 seconds. Oh, go ahead.
Nifty also has the fastest any percentage.
Who?
Oh, interesting. The NTSC PAL version have different records.
Yeah, they run at different speeds.
Oh.
I think the NTSC runs faster, but one of them runs faster than the other. What did you say, Hot?
Oh, I said that Jason said that Nifsky just got the record for fastest no warp. Also has the fastest at that 4 minutes 54 seconds.
It's not surprising.
Yeah.
Any other games you want to know, Garbanzo?
Honestly, I don't mean to. I just made some tacos, and they're freaking delicious, and they're kind of making my brain explode.
You should experience those.
What about Mario 2?
They're beautiful. They're so good.
I like the crunch that it made when you ate.
Wow. Super Mario Brothers 3 that you mentioned, Garbanzo. Somebody has a speed run record for just over 3 minutes.
For Mario 64 in total?
No, three. Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah, I mean, I love the raccoon tail that you got. You can fly around.
Those cool. I actually know one of the keys to beating Super Mario 3 in speedruns is like they call it clipping into a pipe, and then it takes you to somewhere else, and you can get to the final scene of the game really fast doing that.
Okay.
You can actually get it to make a level out of the game's code because it starts reading the wrong area too.
Oh, and that reminds me of a different category.
Was Bowser the final villain in that?
Oh, good question.
What?
Was Bowser the final villain?
Yes.
Yeah. The only one Bowser isn't the final villain in is Mario 2.
What about Super Mario World? Wasn't it Bowser Jr.?
No, it was Bowser.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
Bowser.
it was a first boss and then Bowser shows up or something. Because I thought there was like a little Koopa.
The Koopalings are in Mario 3 and Mario World, but Bowser Jr. I don't think existed yet.
Okay.
Was it? Bowser Jr. was. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of young Bowser in Yoshi's Island.
Oh, yeah, Baby Bowser.
Baby Bowser.
Oh, man. Oh, I was going to say there's something called an executable code, or Xcode execution, where you like program a game within a game.
Yeah. You can do that with Super Mario World.
Those are nuts. Okay.
I read an article about how there's something you can do with the controllers. So they programmed a machine to program Super Mario World using the controllers. And I can't really remember what they did with it, but it was really crazy.
I have a favorite one that's just, it's mind-blowing because it uses 3 separate setups, and it's just they programmed, and it was totally done in an emulator, so like they figured out how to enter commands ridiculously fast, but they like programmed like a part of a movie into Pokemon. Like it was nuts.
That's cool.
The levels that you can get to with executable codes and with speedrunning and true, it's so fun to me because like it keeps these games fresh and alive that, I wouldn't say would have died, but like Mario 64, I think the speedrunning community is probably the biggest community that still plays the game. I mean, people still play it for sure. It's a timeless game, but new things are being discovered about it, like almost I don't want to say every day, but like every now and then I'll see something, I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. I think that's really cool.
Has anyone spoofed Baby Bowser as Kim Jong-un yet? Like, there's the Bowser and then the Baby Bowser.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, not that I know of either.
That might be a fun painting to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Or sprite art, even pixel art. I just rejoined an old video game community that when I was younger I used to make sprite animations. like from the
Oh,
game,
that's cool.
but only from this online game called Maple Story.
I've heard of that.
What
love
is sprite art?
So like some people will it's a whole world, but pixel art is kind of one way of looking at it, and that's art that uses the pixel or sort of
Yeah.
as sort of the main thing. And then a sprite is I think, and Max will know much more about this than me, but a sprite is like the way the game makes an animation. It'll like pull together different still frames, and I think those are sprites.
Pretty much. Like a sprite is anything that moves around the screen, not on a grid, almost always. Like any characters, enemies, things that are above the background in a 2D game are sprites. Whereas like the background elements are tiles.
Would like the fire flower that like Mario shoots in Super Mario Bros. Be a sprite, like the fireball?
The fireball, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
sprite. Because it doesn't move on a grid. It moves in front of the background. Like
Okay.
if it was a tile, then the background couldn't be drawn behind it on that hardware.
Yeah, so sometimes in sprite animation, like we would be making like a character run, but there might not actually be run sprites in the game. So sometimes you'd have to actually make your own animations that were modeled off of the original character, and that would be I never did it, but some people are really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
And another technique that I just since I just joined, what I saw recently is they're separating off the limbs of the character into different like movable things. So you can maybe have a character like hold up their arm to grab a glass of coffee, like, and like that it'll look smooth because they're tweening or they're moving it smoothly between frames instead of, or they're by hand animating each turn. But those sprites wouldn't be possible because in the original game maybe all those were one still. Oh yeah, look, a fish.
Yep, that's a fish.
Oh my god, it's 1 for 1.
That's a 4-tone or a 3. That looks like a 4-tone.
Counting the background, it's 4, but
The fish.
Oh, Amy, of course. Here, let me bring this up.
Yay.
You can always request a song.
The Trout Quintet by Schubert.
That is a nice fish.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Jason.
What's the song, Amy?
We're waiting
We're on the
with
edge of our seats.
bated breath.
Waiting is the hardest part.
Is that a fish joke?
It was.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't put it. Oh, let me take this up. Don't put it off. No need to make excuses. I'll call your bluff. You can't floss your teeth. Go fold your socks. Don't you have floors to sweep? Well, if you've got time to watch this show, it's probably something you should go. Or you wanna push until tomorrow, but don't put it off.
I am actively not doing homework being here.
I kind of messed up the lyrics at the end there, but yeah, don't put it off. Don't put it off.
On the other hand, you aren't putting off being on the show.
I would be if I was doing homework.
Exactly. There's no way to win.
It's a struggle. I think we're doing all right, though.
Good. Well, I'm going to have to go in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So I can not put off something.
I probably won't.
oh yeah, you're on the East Coast. It's really late.
Yeah, it's 11:16. But actually, tomorrow I'm probably going to do remote work because I've been cleaning the lab that I work in all week. And I think I deserve a day, and I have some flex. I get to take one remote day a week, so I'm thinking of taking it tomorrow.
What kind
That's
of
cool.
It's like what we call it a makerspace, but the university doesn't really have really like a way to designate that, so they just consider it a lab. So that's why I call it a lab, but it's not a lab.
Where I am, it's
Yeah.
8:16.
Ooh,
I think we're in the same time zone. Yeah,
that's a nice time zone.
8:16.
I take some of the time. No, that's okay. I've got all the time I need.
I was gonna go roller skating tonight, and then I remembered that the hot show was going on, and that I had so much fucking shit to do. And it's like I should just stay and go to the hot show for a little bit.
You could wear your roller skates, and go in the hot show.
I don't know.
Are you going roller skating at a skating rink or like
Oh,
outside?
Amy was
Yeah, I went for the first time on Tuesday, and it turns out I'm really good at roller skating.
not rollerblading, right?
Cool.
With the wheels in one line, the
I
2x2.
did that when I was in second grade, and I think
I love
the
rollerblades.
skills. I think the skills carried through to now because it's been from like second grade to now. But like, I was instantly doing flips and shit, and like moving around, and like, oh, this is fun. Love it.
That's awesome.
They
Oh,
put
I
the
have something.
in the wrong place.
I have something that I forgot to talk about, which is that I submitted my music to a compilation that was released today.
Oh, cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share the link. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's called a shorts compilation because all the songs had to be under 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, congrats, Amy.
That's a good way to listen to a compilation. I like that format.
I thought you were going to say that all the songs had to be about shorts, like pants. That's where my
Some people did write songs about shorts.
I made a half-hour epic about jean cutoffs.
Really?
It can't be a half an hour. It can only be 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Are you happy with how your track came out?
Yeah.
That's great.
It's
Oh,
good.
this all sounds really
What's
good.
it called? And where can we see
My
it?
song?
Ooh,
I posted the link.
They're good. Do they have a
I
tape version of it?
Yes, they
Oh my
do.
god, I do.
Are you gonna get it?
I might. I've been obsessed with. I was just showing off another cassette I got recently. I've just gotten into collecting, and I mean I have a player too. I'll listen to that as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I
I'll
unboxed
share
this
my-
on the stream.
I'll share my screen so you
Yeah,
can look at it.
it's short weather. Look at that. It's a pretty good price.
Yeah.
Can't really make an excuse to knock. That's pretty affordable.
Can you bring the cover back up? I like that. That's a good. I like that a
The
lot.
cassette is pretty too.
Yeah, it comes in this color and red.
Awesome. Oh, I would go with the red.
I think I would go with this color.
I think I
They're
would
both
too.
great.
Oh, I love the
Yeah,
third picture.
for sure.
The sticker that they have.
Oh yeah, that's great. I love that sticker.
That's so nice. Now I'm gonna put this on my wish list.
Yeah.
Who did the design for it?
I don't know. Probably the record label owner, I think.
They're
But I'm
nice.
not 100% sure.
I love the tape culture. It's just so cool.
Yeah.
I was just telling Hot that I got a tape that came with a little film negative, and I hadn't seen one in a while.
Oh, cool.
It just came with it, and a bunch of stickers. This is from Z Tapes, which is out.
Oh, I know Z Tapes.
Yeah, yeah. This is the Earth Boy one that I
I
got.
submitted.
Oh.
I was actually on one of their. I was on one of their compilations too.
No way! I just listened to their spring one that I really liked.
The spring one.
Yeah,
I don't think it was the spring one. I think it was like a summer one.
Oh
It would have
man,
been cool if I was on the one.
Was it this summer one? The summer
me see.
2021 Z tapes? I happen to have this one, so
It might have been. Let me see though.
no way. Then I've listened to if so, I've listened to your song. This one comes with a little thingy.
I love it. Yeah, this one, like my friend Lloyd just made this.
I
And
have a tape
Oh,
out.
Garbanzo, that's
cool
really nice.
design inside and outside, and it comes with little stickers that
Can
you
you
can
hold that up again? I'm
put
gonna.
onto the cassette. Like it comes like
That's cool. I like the color.
that, and then you like
Oh
open
no.
it, and it's like this really weird design, and it's on an orange tape,
Oh,
Yeah, I
Cool.
like that orange tape.
and it's got a sticker that you put onto the tape if you want
I've
to.
never thought about doing that. I don't know why I
And
never thought
then
that.
like some other weird like little stickers that come with it. That
It's cool.
and it's really good
It
music
has a download code on it.
the whole way it's packaged. I guess it did. Yeah, you could take my download code.
I tried something the other day and I tried to 3D print labels for a cassette. So I made this little one for that would actually go on the cassette, but they were too thick.
Orange.
Orange.
This is called RNG, is the name of the album.
Oh.
That's so funny. There's something about colors going around.
So, Jason,
Oh, yeah.
I want to share my tape with you because I have a tape out.
This is I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
fan of tapes. I like that.
Let me bring
I'll
that
check
back
out
in.
all the tapes. Oh, cool. Oh, could you drop that link in the
I really love the way you have the tape, like the label on there.
Oh, that's really nice. Max Oakland.
Yeah, I can drop the link. The
Yeah, that'd
cassette
be
only
great.
costs $7.
Is the label 3-dimensional, like it was printed on like a label gun?
Yeah.
Or is it a sticker?
Nope. It's a sticker, but it's 3-dimensional.
Does it
Because it was
affect the play? Like,
Not that I know of.
That's so cool.
I don't know. I actually, unfortunately, couldn't play it because my tape player was my truck, but it broke. like right when I got that tape, so I could never listen to it. Unfortunately.
No. So I was exploring the budget tape player world and found this player's okay. It's $20 on Amazon, but I would highly recommend if you're into the market for a new portable, the Muon B1000 is really good. It's like $60. I wouldn't recommend the Jensen. Actually, I heard the best way to go is to get an old Walkman or like get some vintage gear. And then
I heard old ones are better.
Yeah, you like replace the belt or something and then it's good to go.
I wish I had my old Sony Walkman.
They're worth money now. They're like $300 or something.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It depends on the model of the Walkman. Some of them are less. Like you know what happened? I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy, that movie.
Oh yeah.
And once that came out, people were like, "Oh, cassettes are the new hotness!" All of a sudden. But I think they're just cool. I got a really bad cassette tape.
A copy of a Melancholy and Infinite Sadness original.
Oh, this is a really bad cassette tape I got recently. It's really bad. Nothing against the artist Suicide Child, nothing against them, but I'm not a fan. Sorry.
What is the artist?
Suicide Child. There's the first track is called Glory Hole.
What's the second track called?
The band Suicide
Taboo.
itself is a really good band. Like just Suicide.
Good to know. Yeah, I would avoid the child of that band, but the fathers. Oh, but it came with a Pokemon card, which was cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. I got an energy card. Whoops, I just broke I got an energy card and
yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just got excited because it is the summer 2021 tape that I'm on.
What? That's the one I have. It's right here.
Whoa.
I just got it from their backlog and it's one of the best tapes I've ever listened to.
That's because my song's on it.
Yeah. Wait, now I'm gonna look for Max. That's so cool. That's so cool. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. Wait. I'm looking at the track listing right now. Oh yeah, I found you. Yeah, you're on side A.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Made the A side.
Yeah,
Which song is that?
got time.
Got time? Oh, it's cool.
I'll have to re-listen to that to listen to your song. That's wild that I already have. Well, now that's definitely
That
a
is
good reason
so
to check out
funny.
your additional release as well. Yeah. But I would avoid
Yeah,
Suicide
that
Child.
time is. What made you buy it, and why don't you like it?
So there's a store between me and the train station I'm near called Hustle King Headquarters, and I never had seen it open. But one day it was open, and I walked in, and and I asked them if they had they're a recording studio that also has like a storefront, I guess, but they don't seem very committed to the storefront. Um, and I went in to ask if they had any tapes, and they're like, "Yeah, we do, just this one here." And I picked the least
Only
offensive looking
one?
of them, and it was this one. This was the least offensive.
What was the most offensive looking one?
It wasn't that much. It was like this, but with like a clown on the front of it, and I don't think I like clowns that much. It also came with this sticker on it.
Home taping that's funny.
I don't
I'm
know. I mean,
assuming that's ironic.
I mean, I disagree with it, but it's hilarious.
I guess I'm not. I wish the tape itself was better. If anyone wants it, you can have it. I will.
Why don't you like it?
It's just like really kind of cringy rap music. I think there's the line in Glory Hole is like, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and it was a glory hole the whole time. I'm like, that's my favorite line. I actually think that's kind of clever, but the rest of it was just bad.
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I also got like a bunch of old jazz tapes, like this Miles Davis.
Cool.
My dad gave me some folk tapes recently. Here's Bob Bosson. You guys have ever want to listen to Canadian protest music?
What is it?
Bob Boston's pretty cool. And then Ryan gave me this tape. It's like some noise tape. It's like some arcane object. Maybe you know who did this. I don't. I have a good story about it.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Really
He said one of his friends made it.
There's too much of a glare.
Whoa, that's beautiful, Garbanzo.
Oh yeah, that's Hot the Cat.
It's a really good album.
That's one I'm going to send you.
The gentleman to the
I can't
upper
wait.
right.
Yeah, I've definitely been upping my collection. Oh, someone from my freelance groups, his name is Vijuns, Vijuns, has this really pretty tape.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, you guys have to see the actual cassette too.
There's a little bit of glare on the cover.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go. Well, I think I can just take out the J card to show you the cover actually with no glare.
Oh,
it
so kind of reminds me of the Dire Straits in a weird way. Or Depeche.
Is nice too.
Ooh.
I know. I treasure these so much. Yeah. It's a good ambient album.
That's cool.
I'm so excited to learn that Max, that you're on the EP the EP, the comp that I have. That
is so funny.
Yeah, that's
wait. I can even hold up the J card if that's okay. I can show what your track is. If it's okay. All right.
Here we go. It was called the J card.
Oh yeah, because see the little J shape.
It's like a J. It makes so much sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here's oh, there we go. There we are.
Yep, there I am. I'm right under a song called Oh Okay. Oh wait, no, a person called Oh Okay.
I like Don't Go to College actually. It's a great song. Oh, Justin Blackburn's song "Don't Go to College." It's really good. The one that's after your song.
So now you just have to remember that I'm before that one.
I think I remember your song, but I don't know for sure. I don't want to comment on it without knowing it. But I remember liking all of the songs.
Where did that compilation start? What happened there?
I submitted to it. I think that record label's from Czechoslovakia.
Something like that. They always send you little candies when you get a tape from them.
Yeah.
And they're really good.
I love that people do these things.
Yeah, me too.
They're apparently one of the oldest tape labels out right now. I follow them on Instagram. I even got featured on their Instagram page with the 3D printed one.
Oh, cool.
Let me see if I can find that.
I'm just consistently surprised by the things in the world that I didn't know.
I definitely think there's something nice about the fact that people are still making tapes. Okay, yeah, check this out. I made this bootleg of, and I 3D printed it, and that got their attention. Like that little thing on the label is actually 3D printed. It's not two-dimensional. Like if you look at it from the side, you'd have to look really closely, but it's actually embossed, like it's raised a little bit. It's pretty cool.
What
I
was
had a lot
there
of fun with it.
before? What was there before you put that there?
Oh, this is a Sony LNX90, like vintage, like old tape that I got.
Okay.
And it's just the J card from that, but I just taped over it with this. This is the actual, it's just an old cassette that I recorded the comp onto.
So does it 3D
Oh.
ink that adds onto itself like over and over?
Yeah, like it's just
What kind of ink does it
got my
use?
printer ready. It's
It's
not
not
actually
ink, it's plastic.
Yeah, here's the other graphic. This is what the same style.
Yeah, I imagine it almost like an acrylic.
It's a PLA
It's
is the
plastic.
material I use. It's called polylactic acid. It's actually a bio plastic. They take like corn and then they take the starch and they actually feed it to bacteria. The bacteria spit out polylactic acid, which is part of the Krebs cycle of anaerobic respiration. So we all produce lactic acid in our muscles, but you can actually harvest it and make a plastic out of it, which sounds crazy when you think about it, but it is literally like those little caps on your Starbucks cup that say biodegradable on it. That are usually PLA.
It
So
makes sense with what it does to your joints and things.
Useful.
it's quite. It's not as biodegradable as people make it out to be, though. It has to be like in like a very particular environment. It's like really hot. So it's a step towards a more eco-friendly future. I don't think we're there yet, though.
Good to know.
We better get there. There's not a lot of time.
Right now.
Let's cut some carbon emissions, everybody.
There's actually a type of cassette tape they don't make anymore because it's not eco-friendly to make. It's the Type 2 cassettes.
Oh.
They still make them. They don't make them very good. Because they were, I think it has cobalt or chromium in them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, chromium. The record label that released my tape is called Outcast Tapes. So they have a lot of tapes, so you could check them out. And
I will, but I'll definitely check yours out specifically.
Thanks.
I'm looking at it right now. I already added to my wish list, so I'll probably end up picking it up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you could buy that from the record label or me. I know that one time they had a sale where everything was 50% off if you entered a code, so people could get my tape for like $4.
Oh.
It was
Did you
crazy.
still get the normal amount?
I don't remember. I don't make like much money at all off of it, so it doesn't really matter. It's more of like a promotional thing to get people to hear my music at this point.
That makes sense. I've wanted to start a cassette label for fun.
You should. That would be awesome.
Well, I think I need to get like a good deck and then like the Dolby noise reduction but like I just did my own bootleg recording the other day off of like the cheapest boombox you can get on Amazon right now, and probably the only one. It's the Sony something something. It's a really crappy boombox, but the record function is actually pretty good. The playback function's garbage, but the record function's really good. So what you have to get is a good player like this one, which this one has a garbage record function. It actually only has a mic line in, and it's not stereo. It's only got a mono line in, so you can't really record on it, and it does some like weird noise buffering thing. But like, so if you have a good recorder and a good player, I feel like that's what you need, not to run a tape label, but just to enjoy tapes. Like, because I mean, I think there's something really joyous about recording on tape too.
Maybe it's good enough to record or to have a tape label. I don't know.
I think it's just there, but you also need to get the good tapes. Like I tried getting like Maxell like URs from Amazon, like the new stock, and they suck.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
There's places. I don't know if they're still around, but I don't know.
That place is still around, Dan. Or
is
hot.
it?
Yeah. What is it called though?
I have the information somewhere. It's like
you buy them in bulk.
Yeah, you buy them.
Oh
in
yeah,
bulk.
yeah. There's website.
They also you can get them any length that you need them.
Is this the duplication.ca?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you ever get experience with them, Hot?
Yeah, I ordered a whole bunch of stuff from them. They were really friendly. I even asked them to draw a cat on the side of the box, and they did it.
That's great. That's how
Yeah,
you know they're good. That's amazing. What color cassette did you get, if you remember?
white.
Nice.
Because yeah, I think I didn't have very many options, so that was the only thing. Yeah,
Ooh.
there it is.
Oh, it's so nice. But is that? It looks like it's tinted or something, or there's like a cloud in it or something. Maybe that's just a reflection. No, that is in
No,
there.
I added stuff on it.
Oh, is that like a clear vinyl with sticker or something?
No, it
It's
was
white.
a ink uh, stamp that I got made,
Wow.
and then just like I can't remember what I used, just like a paper towel with the ink on it, and just kind of rubbed around.
I love this.
Yeah,
What was
no,
the place?
the
The
tape place.
No, what was the place we used in Montana when we bought a bunch of tapes? Because I don't think it was that one.
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think you're right because the duplication.ca is where I got it for the that one, the one
Yeah.
that Garbanzo had.
Mhm.
Yeah, that place was like a church or something.
Really?
The place that we went, that we got them from, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I've been doing some research on it. There's a few companies that still make tapes. Usually they make the Type 1 tapes, which I think are probably better than the Type 2s they're making now. But you can also just go out and get like old vintage stock and record on them. But like the tape will vary from like stock to stock. And
Yeah, that is true. It's kind of hit or miss.
I had a good.
Actually,
Go ahead.
Hot and I know all about that because for like how long? 4 years, we pretty much only recorded onto tapes.
Mm-hmm.
These.
Yep.
Yeah.
TDK. There we go.
Yeah.
That's a pretty old brand of tape. My dad gave
Spent a
me
lot
a.
of paint on that one.
My dad gave me a Nancy Griffith tape he recorded on a TDK SA90. Oh no, this one's the Easy Club. It was a radio show he did, and then he gave me the tape recording of it. Or he was associated. I don't know. It's a nice tape. It's a nice stock. I also have some because I went out and got a bunch off of thrift store. Got some kind of pretty vintage ones. I think the Maxell UR is kind of nice. This is an older style because if you get it now,
Yeah.
the same brand of tape, the UR looks like this, and they're not nearly as good.
Hmm.
This is the one with
Those the Maxell UR is the one that you can. It looks like it at least. The one you can buy like almost anywhere compared to anything else. You know what I mean? Like it'll be at
yeah.
a drugstore.
They'll look like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
garbage. They're super noisy.
I
I'm
love the poster that I did way early on for this show based on that guy.
Really?
On the Maxwell tape, the
hold on, I'll hold it up again.
coolest sound you can make.
I'll hold it up again. This guy.
That guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I found it.
It is pretty like reclined, like
Oh.
all the way back.
I thought that was a trash bag.
I think that would be a
Yeah.
good advertisement for one of those movie theaters where you got those really big seats.
It's become that's like an iconic thing.
Yeah.
The
I mean-
Simpsons have an opening with that, I believe.
I'm sure it was a good tape at one point, but let's see. I think I can show you guys my favorite old vintage tape style that I happened to stumble upon. Oh, this one's pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's just a nice looking one.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
This is the Maxell XL2. I don't know what era. People see the tape heads in the tape head form. Well, you have to know the brand and the vintage or like when it was from, because there's more to it than just.
I did not know that was a reference to that.
Whoa!
There's a big
Oh!
to it.
Have you ever put a hot show on a cassette
That's a cool idea.
No.
or VHS tape? This is my favorite one. I really think these are stylish and cool.
Very, very vintage.
Another Maxell. This one's the
I think I have one of
XL2.
those.
This is also an XL2. So even the same name of brand of tape will look very different depending on the year.
I have done that, Amy.
You know, I don't know if I ever have actually.
It's surprisingly easy to do on the boombox because you already have a radio
Yeah.
player.
Yeah,
You just hit button.
I have made a tape though of a mixtape from my computer.
That's fun too.
That's what I did. I've even done it from a phone. Just Spotify on a phone, outputting straight into
Oh
it.
wow!
It's
I
Yeah, I
pretty
never
suppose
thought
you
wild.
about
could.
that.
Yeah, I suppose you
Yeah.
could.
But I think the best way is to go from like an uncompressed WAV. And the other thing I noticed is like I was messing with I didn't do this on purpose. I was trying to play with the tape speed. There's two screws, one through the back where you can adjust the tape speed, but there's another screw called the azimuth adjustment screw, right here near the tape head. And that actually like changes how well the tape head is aligned with the tape, and it changes like your high end response and stuff. I don't think you have to mess with it, but it does essentially act as sort of an EQ for a tape, which is
Oh,
pretty cool. I wouldn't recommend messing with it unless you have like a cheap player you don't care about, but because I was trying to get mine back to where it should have been. But it was satisfying
interesting.
once I dialed it in. I was like, oh, like, sounds good.
I never knew that. Like you know a lot about tapes that I didn't even
Too
know
much.
was a thing.
I've been obsessed for the past month or so. I think I was on the stream when I was like first getting into it.
Yeah, you had just
You need to maintain
you did
your
the unboxing
of
of your.
Just don't have it. I wish I did.
Yeah, I'm still pretty
Like,
into him.
I'm all over the place all the time. I can't concentrate. And I feel like things would be more beneficial for me if I could.
Oh, I'm
like,
like that too. I just
focus
for
on
some
it.
reason. So for me, the cassettes have had such a benefit because like I'm on the subway every day taking the train to work. So just being able to like know that my music isn't kind of cut out because I'm going underground, like it's so nice. I mean, you could just download an MP3, I'm sure, but there's something nice about it. And I wear these nice headphones with it too that I think really help. These like Sony monitors. That
Oh.
I don't know. There's just something about it to me. I
Do you
tried
need
getting
to use
making a
an
budget setup with
adapter
like
to plug it in?
what's that?
Do you need to use an adapter to plug that into the Walkman?
No, these are the types of headphones that have they got like the threaded barrel at the end, so you can the default would be a normal 3.5 millimeter, and then you can thread on like an adapter that makes it into the quarter
Oh.
inch. But yeah, I tried so that cassette player is from France, and I mean I would recommend it. This one's like your budget one. This one does have a radio on it, which is actually pretty good. The radio is not bad, but the player is pretty bad. It interestingly has a line out and a headphone jack, and the headphone jack is garbage. But the line out is actually pretty good. But the problem is you have no volume control. So I bought like a separate volume controller, and I tried getting like a really crappy pair of earbuds, but no. I actually think the vintage ones came with the headphones like this without the mic, right? Like you get like a pair like that looks like this, kind of
Yeah.
the yellow Walkman one. I don't know. I could talk about tapes for a while.
Yeah,
That's honestly awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna really is inspiring me to actually send you my tape.
I would love that.
I've recently been wanting to find. Max and I were talking about this about finding a tape label to put out this tape of jams that we did.
Yeah.
That Garbanzo was also on. Did you listen to that Garbanzo? I sent it to you the other day.
Was it years ago the other day? Or was it like days ago?
When we last talked, I sent it. I think I sent it at the
Get
same.
it.
Oh, that's weird.
I'll check again.
guess
I would
it's-
be so curious to hear what we were doing. We were out of our minds making wild music.
Yeah, let me find that.
If you have any examples, please send them to me. I lost most of that. I do have this one. I don't know what's on this one. I gotta play it. One of the two.
I found out my little brother's he inherited our grandfather's car, or he got it passed down, and it has a tape deck in it. And I'm really
What
excited
tapes
to
do we
try
have?
it. what tape. My brother doesn't have any tape, so he's like he has never used it. So I'm
But the
hoping to.
one will be in the car, like in the-
Yeah. He has the car he drives every day has one, but he's never played a tape in it. So I'm hoping to just bring a really good one over. So far, my favorite up there is Miles Davis's Tutu, partly for the amazing photograph on the front, but it's just a good album. Like if you ever get the chance to listen to it, it's just like I bet Ryan would agree.
It's really cheesy, but I love this one.
Oh no!
That just fell in salsa.
No.
Oh
Which one
no!
is it? Which one is it?
It's not one. It's
Oh, yeah,
Alanis Morissette.
Oh, I love that. I listen to that all the
Yeah.
time.
Really love this tape.
That's such a good one. I can't believe you like that too.
Yeah.
Music.com/
It just brought me back to being a kid. Yeah. I love it.
What's your favorite song on there?
Oh, fuck.
Mine is You Learn. I love that
And in
song.
my pocket.
That's a good one too.
In my pocket. Yeah, I'm making a peace song.
I think that album is cool because it has a lot of vibes that are not on any other album.
Yeah, she made a little masterpiece there for sure. It's a good one.
She does not get a lot of credit.
I think she does.
I don't think she does. I don't know.
She was a fucking full-on rock star and deserves more attention, I guess. But people who love her, and I think
that's true. But a lot of people, I don't think, understand that she's actually good.
Wait, there's a 10-minute song called "I Play a Boot."
Yep, that's one of the best ones.
Parts 1 through 5.
Oh, you think so? That's cool. That's great.
I can't wait, Max. Would you prefer me to buy your tape from you or the label?
I think the label.
Because you might have to ship me something, which might be something that you might have to take out time out of your day to do. Maybe it'd be easier to just have the label.
Yeah, that is true. And also, I want the label to feel successful for,
so it's Outcast tape,
including me.
Yeah, I want them to know that Max is bringing the money.
Yeah. They have a lot of good artists on there too.
And they got shorts. The problem is, like, although they're not that expensive, if I buy enough tapes, I start spending a lot of money. But it is really cool. Like, at least what I've experienced is you'll buy a tape from Bandcamp and like it will take like a month to get to you, but then one day a surprise comes in the mail and it's a tape and it comes, the little mailers are really unique, and then the Z Tapes throws in the stickers and the candy and the Pokemon cards. Oh my god.
I have to remember to do that when I get a tape order.
Yeah, I love the stuff people put in. I mean, I think that the one Brian told me not to take any of these out, but this is the one I think it has the most stuff of anything I've ever seen. There's a fold out poster. These are all
cool.
they're supposed to. Ryan is giving me instruction to keep them all together. But there's like, this is a cool thing that comes with it.
Neat.
I don't know why.
It's,
it's from Ryan's friend's tape. The psych, and it has all sorts of.
Oh,
honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of the actual music. Oh, it says this on the other side.
What's the music like?
I wouldn't call it music.
Is it like noise?
You can listen to it. Yeah, it's called NUAM Arcane Object. It's on Bandcamp if you want to check it out.
NUAM?
NUAM, you said?
Yeah, Arcane Object by N.U. Or no,
NUAM. Okay.
Yeah. The tape actually broke while I was listening to it on the plane. Here's the tape. Oh gosh, there's so much stuff that comes with it. I'm gonna have to fit all these things back into it now. But I was underwhelmed by the music. It was okay. There's a lot of tracks on it, but it says it was mastered by Matthew Gladley. Maybe you guys know who that is. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Manu
I do.
Who is that?
Manu? You actually do know who Manu is.
But aesthetically, this is just, there's so many cool things in this. I love
Manu
it.
used to be known as Manuel.
Oh, he mastered it?
Oh no, there was someone else who mastered it actually. Matthew Gladley mastered it, and Manu produced it. And then
Oh, I
Alex
see.
Wilson did the production and art direction. It says.
Amy,
I don't know any of those people, but
Amy just
saw
saw
them
Manu
today.
today.
oh, they're them. Sorry about that. Manu.
It looks like a
I hope they're doing well.
kick you had going.
Boom, boom. Oh, I was gonna get off, but I got reeled back in by the tapes.
Yeah,
I should probably get off too.
to do that.
Can you sing us out, Doc?
Yeah, thanks so much for everyone being here. It's been, I really didn't know what to expect tonight, but like it turned out into a very nice evening. So glad that you got so excited about tapes. It really brought the energy into the show.
Yeah. It was definitely really interesting to talk about that.
It's amazing that you all have a connection to it as well, including Amy and recording tapes in the radio and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're the
it is,
kind of
actually.
I think we're the kind of people that are tape people. I don't think everyone's a tape kind of person, but I think everyone that shows up on this stream is generally a tape person. Any last words before we take ourselves out of here?
Peace and love.
Not
Good
that I can
vibes.
think of.
All right.
Don't take it too seriously.
What?
Just everything.
That was that. Sure, thank you for sticking around. That was that. Sure, thank you for coming down. Hope you had some fun, but now the show's done. So go on, get out of here.